Will Pixar and Disney return to the top after a rough phase full of problems and controversies? Coco 2 and Encanto 2 have been confirmed by Disney and Pixar, and of course, we're going to tell you everything in this video, so stick around. Alright, let's start by talking about the announcement of Coco 2. Man, this took us by surprise, completely out of nowhere. Pixar just dropped it like, here you go. There weren't even any rumors. There have been rumors about other productions, like Cars 4 and Finding Nemo, but Coco 2, no one was talking about it. Out of nowhere, Pixar announced it and even revealed some details, like the release date and directors. But before getting into that, did we really need this sequel? The first movie is a Pixar classic, perfectly wrapped up. It has a beginning, middle, and end. The whole story revolves around Miguel wanting to sing and live off music while his family doesn't allow it. There's his great-grandmother, Ernesto, the whole family dynamic, and everything was already resolved. So, are we going to watch it? Of course. Are we making a video about it? Obviously. But there's that lingering doubt. Will it be good? Will Pixar manage to deliver a movie worthy of the first one? Because in my opinion, Coco is one of Pixar's best movies. Pixar had already said they wouldn't make more sequels. I don't know if you remember, but back in 2018, they said Toy Story 4 would be the last one. Good thing they changed their minds, because we need sequels, and so do they, because they make money. But they need to know when to stop and whether it's really necessary. The Incredibles, for example, could have 500 movies easily because it's about superheroes. But Toy Story 5? They're making it to fix the mistake of 4, which didn't even need to exist. Pixar probably changed its mind because of money. After Inside Out 2 blew up in success, they thought, alright, now we're talking. Then they announced The Incredibles 3, then Toy Story 5, and now Coco 2. They're betting big on sequels while also trying to bring original stories to win the audience back. Coco 2 is part of that strategy, but it needs a solid story. Graphics won't be an issue because Pixar never fails in that. The challenge is creating a sequel that lives up to the first movie. If it turns out worse, everyone will rip it apart, reinforcing the idea that Pixar movies aren't as good as they used to be. A lot of people complain about sequels, but when an original movie comes out, they don't watch it. Pixar knows this. Making a sequel is much easier because the audience already knows the characters, and the studio doesn't have to build everything from scratch. Plus, it's a guaranteed moneymaker. If you look at Pixar's highest-grossing movies, they're all sequels. On top of that, licensed products make a fortune. Just with Toy Story, Pixar earns $1 billion a year in merchandise alone. And that's not even counting box office revenue. So of course, there will be Toy Story 5, 6, or 7. If Coco 2 is a success, expect a third one. Ice Age already has 6 movies, and if you count Buck's spin-off, that's 7. Any animation can get a sequel. It might take a while, but it happens. Speaking of time, Coco 2 is set for 2029. That's a long wait. Take a moment and comment how old you'll be in 2029. It's 12 years after the first movie. For Pixar standards, that's not too long, considering The Incredibles and Monsters Incorporated took forever. And Inside Out also took almost 10 years to get a sequel. But it's weird to announce a movie now that's only coming out in 4 years. So, is this wait going to be worth it? Announcing a movie 4 years in advance is a long time. It's really far away. But at least there's something that gives us peace of mind about Coco 2. The two directors from the first film, Adrian Molina and Lee Unkrich, are returning to direct. That gives us a really good feeling that the movie is in good hands. It's not a guarantee that it'll be great, but it's already a great sign. When they change directors, the concern gets bigger. For now, we don't have a synopsis or details about the story. We don't know if Miguel will grow up or if he'll stay the same age. Nothing has been revealed yet. But if you didn't know that Coco 2 was happening, it's because you haven't subscribed to the channel. I announced it as soon as Pixar posted. So subscribe here because I always bring the latest updates, including news about other movies. Now, changing the subject, let's talk talk about another sequel, Encanto 2. This was also announced out of nowhere, kind of leaked by accident, but the source is extremely reliable. John Leguizamo, the actor who voices Bruno in Encanto and Sid in Ice Age, spoiled it. According to him, Disney is already developing the story and figuring out how the sequel will be. He's a trusted source because he works directly with Disney and has leaked spoilers before, like what happened with Ice Age 6. A little while later, Disney confirmed it officially. The same thing happened with Eddie Murphy in Shrek 5. He talked about it before DreamWorks announced it, and soon after, it got confirmed. He also mentioned a Donkey spin-off, which hasn't been officially announced yet but seems very likely. DreamWorks has a history of holding back information and then suddenly dropping it. Encanto 2 makes sense because the first movie was a huge hit and is already considered a modern Disney classic, just like Frozen. Unlike Strange World, which nobody even remembers anymore, Encanto has a complete story, but there's still room to explore more. There are more characters, more magic, and a lot they can expand on. Now, to help you keep track, here's a list of all the movies officially in development by Pixar and Disney. Elio, June this year. Hoppers, March next year. Toy Story 5 in 2026. Coco 2, The Incredibles 3 with no release date, but probably between 2027 and 2028. Frozen 3 and 4. Zootopia 2 late this year. Ice Age 6 late next year. And in addition, we have Mario Bros. 2, Shrek 5, and Minions 3. On top of that, Pixar has hinted that they're developing ideas for Inside Out 3, Monsters Incorporated 3, Finding Nemo 3, and Cars 4. But these will probably be released after 2030. And every movie we just talked about has already been featured in videos on the channel. So if you're a fan of animations, binge watch this videos. There's a lot of amazing content coming soon. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video here on Cine Lovers.